What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be looking at a 2000 Tundra with a 4.7 liter motor in it. It's got a bunch of problems and we're going to fix it up. But the main thing is the truck runs like crap. They have the fuel pump rigged up to the EFI relay. The EFI fuse. And we're going to try to figure out what's going on, and we're going to try to fix this problem. Why do they have the fuel pump rigged up in the first place? There's a lot of issues we're going to run through. Of course, this is post the video, but stay tuned. It might be a long video with a lot of twists and turns in testing and looking at schematics and things like that. But let's get it, guys. 2000 Tundra. I'll do that in a minute. Let me go ahead and bolt these down. We got two bolts we got to get in that fuse, one on this side and one on the opposite side. It says bad mass airflow sensor code, fuel pump circuit. Again, that should not have came back. The fuel pump relay ECU circuit. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's a P1200. That's new. I mean, I've seen it before. It might just be a bad damn computer. I don't know. Let's look up the code. So we got a 1200 and a 101. 1200 and a 101. Let's see if it starts up. Let me clear these codes out again. 1200 and a 101. 1200 and a 101. Let me clear them out of there real quick. So we have mass airflow sensor. That's a 100. All right, so the ECU didn't come back yet. Let's see if I have throttle response. No throttle response. The mass airflow sensor is unplugged on this one, so let's go ahead and pull it out, clean it anyways. But it's sure looking like a fuel pump issue rather than a mass error at this point. Let's plug it up. Shut it off and start it back up again. Give me some gas. I'm gonna clean it out. Its throttle response is a little bit better now. It is a little bit better. So maybe not a fuel pump. I don't know. Let's clean it out. Let's do that first, guys. Let me get a Phillips head screwdriver. And I'm just gonna let it warm up for a little while. It's a little chilly out here today. It looks like there's some little, or maybe not. No, it actually doesn't look too bad. Let's clean it. If it runs a little bit better, a little bit better, noticeable better, I'm going to go ahead and just get a new one. They're fairly cheap, like 80 bucks. You got a filament right there, and you also got one inside of there. It's actually running pretty decent right now. I heard an engine change. All right, the vehicle is running, mass airflow sensor. There's no movement at all. Let me give me some gas. We're going to 28. It's not doing shit. Let's check our wires on that plug. See if we got voltages, and we'll go from there, because that damn thing's not moving at all. Hey guys, what I'm noticing now is they told me that they wired up that fuel pump directly to that fuse, and that's the fuel injection fuse right there, the EFI number 2. And what I've noticed, because the car wouldn't start after I changed that fuse, because that fuse that was on this wire, which is on number 2, the fuse was blown. I was just checking it, and I didn't plug this wire back up because I didn't know what it was for. It wouldn't start, so I just put another fuse in it, and I just put that on the power lead just for right now, just to see if I can get it to start. It's running, but what I've noticed, again, shit, I'm sorry guys, it's early. I have no voltage coming out of that. No voltage on that fuel injection fuse. You have to get the schematic, and let's see, you know, where it gets its power and what it feeds. Let's push on the gas for a second. It's still the same thing. It does no acceleration like a bad fuel pump. So yeah, let me get a schematic up and see EFI number 2. Let me check it again. You got no voltage coming out of that. Let's find out what feeds it and what it feeds. All right, guys, we're going to do this on big screen for the simple fact that, you know, when I made the video earlier, it just didn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, so I'm just going to redo it. All right, so the EFI fuse, we had power on neither side of the fuse with a brand new fuse installed right there. So there's no power going anywhere. The fuse is not popping or blowing. There's just no voltage. So that means this power, wherever it gets its power, we're going to have to go backwards on this one. And I'll go ahead and highlight everything. Let's go backwards and see where that fuse gets its power. We're following these 2 traces right here. One's going to the EFI relay. Not much worried about that, because that's not going to supply voltage. The only thing that's supplying the voltage is the engine computer. So at this point, we need to go ahead and check the engine computer to see if it has voltage. And I'm betting that it doesn't, just for the simple fact that they tied in the fuel pump, that red wire, on the EFI 2 fuse. That's where they tapped in the fuel pump wire, that red wire coming from the fuel tank when they rigged it up. And I've seen this happen before where it just burns up the engine computer. So I'm going straight to the computer, because really that's the only thing left. And there's two wires. It's going to be there it is right there. Sorry about that. It's going to be a white and a blue wire. White and a blue wire, as you see. We'll go ahead and lead it back. It goes to the data port 7 on the data port as well, and the EFI relay. and of course it goes up to the fuse, and we have voltage when we don't have voltage over on this side of the fuse. Obviously this is where it comes from, nor where it supplies voltage to, which is the mass airflow sensor on this Tundra. This is the red wire we're looking at, and it feeds all the oxygen sensors and the mass airflow sensor, which is back over here somewhere, and the mass airflow sensor. So there's our code. Remember, we had a mass airflow sensor code. I think it was P0101, because the fuse was not getting powered up by the engine computer. So we're going to go ahead and check that out, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have to get another engine computer. So yeah, guys, we're going to go for the engine computer. All right, guys, so let's go back to the let's find the engine computer. It should be behind the glove box somewhere, and let's look for the white and blue wires. There should be 2 white and blue wires at the PCM, and I mean, if I'm not getting voltage out of that, then I'm just going to get another engine computer. This is the bottom line right here, right? So let's get it. Here's the computer right there. Just had to take this cover off. It goes up in there like that. You just pull it off. And here's the connectors right here, and it's pretty tight in there. So let me get off the phone, and I will unplug everything. I don't. All right. Well, there's a blue and white. It's a dark blue. They would actually say dark blue, though. So this is the one I'm looking for. It's going to be the first plug, I believe, on that side. First one on that side. She told me that she's changed 3 fuel pumps in the past year. All right, guys, we're back at it again. This is about a week, 2 weeks later. Finally got a new engine computer. And just to go over some things on this, once again, no voltage on either side of that fuse, so we're going to start with the engine computer. I'm going to go ahead and pop it in there real quick, and then we'll come out here and check voltages, or voltage at least on one side of that. I think that fuse is still blown, so there should be voltage on one side. The voltage that comes from here also goes to the oxygen sensors and the mass airflow sensor. So if that's dead, mass airflow sensor or the oxygen sensors aren't going to get any voltage. Pop that fuse out of there. Just inspect the fuse real quick. And it's busted. I'm not going to put another fuse in there quite yet. Let me turn the key on. All right, 11.53 on that side of the fuse, and 11.53 on that side of the fuse. Now all we have to worry about right now, since we got the our voltage back to the data port, the mass airflow sensor, all of our voltages are back by now. I didn't check over there to the mass airflow sensor, but that fuse feeds the mass airflow sensor and the oxygen sensors, so I'm sure we're okay there. Now we had that fault. The fuel pump relay circuit was not working. So they had this rigged up to the fuel pump, all the way to that EFI fuse. So we're gonna have to figure out that problem next. You know, how can we fix this problem? And we'll do some more checking on the EFI relay. We'll go back there in the tank and we'll check that wire, and we'll do those checks right there in a little bit. But in the meanwhile, let me go ahead and give this voltage real quick. and we'll start this truck up and see if we got throttle response again. Alright, it starts right up. Oh, I think that fuse just blew. I just heard something. No, it didn't blow. I thought I heard something. My bad. We have throttle response. It's kind of cold, so it's kind of shaking a little bit. Not enough for me to worry about quite yet. Yeah, not enough for me to worry about right now. It's cold. I'm good on the fuse. The EFI is working, fuel injectors are working again, mass airflow sensor is back on track. Getting in this car. Okay, it's still cold. It's still cold, so. How much gas we have in here? We have a half a tank of gas. So let this bad boy run for a while. Alright guys, we'll get back and we'll check that. We're gonna repair that wire from the fuel tank back here, or figure out what's going on with the fuel pump relay. It's gonna be next. All right, the fuel pump relay is right there, second one from the bottom. I'm gonna see if it's clicking. Just pull it out and see if it activates. And I didn't hear it do anything. No, I'm just moving, taking it in and out. It should click. It's not. So we'll check voltages out of the relay cavities. I have 13 volts right there. I have no voltage coming out of the computer. No voltage coming out of the computer. No voltage is coming out of that. I got 13 volts there, and this is going to be my load side. But if it doesn't activate. All right, let me go to the schematic real quick. Go to schematic real quick. It's the only thing we can really do right now. Let's get it. All right, it's really running really good right now. We still have that wire we got to contend to. So let's go in see what kind of codes we got on here, if any. It's the Tundra. It's a 2000 it's a 2000 Tundra. It's a 2000 Tundra. Okay. Oh, the glare, man. So we're gonna have a relay, I'm sure, the fuel pump relay circuit fault. Let's do a health report just because. Really not curious about all the modules, but let's just do it. Let's just do it. I don't think anything else is related. It's going to be all powertrain control module. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Got 3 faults. Alright, mass airflow sensor flow 100. Mass airflow sensor. that can't be right. Random multiple misfire. That's those same codes that we had last time. We didn't have this lean code though. Fuel pump relay circuit right there. Let's clear them out of there. Let's wait. No trouble codes. I should have a trouble code for at least for the fuel pump. Starts up nicely. Shut it off again. Oh, there it is again. There's the fuel pump relay ECU circuit. It wasn't clicking out there either, so. All right, well, let's go to the schematic, guys. That's our next step. All right, let's take a look at the open relay right now, and that's this area right here. You see it gets this is the power going to that fuse that's blowing, fuse, the EFI 2 fuse. It comes down, goes into the EFI relay, and then splits off, and it also brings power down to the open relay. Just something to keep in mind. And as long as I have some control over here, this is where it creates a magnetic field and closes the contact. All right, guys, I was down here just looking at all the open relay, and I'll show you on the schematic, the open relay, the EFI relay, and the fuel pump relay. And they're all on the bottom here. And I noticed there's not an opened relay in there. That may have something to do with it. It's all connected. Let's pull up the schematic again because I want to see it. There it is. All right, guys. So the open relay, yeah, I mean, it comes in from the EFI. It comes in from the EFI. It splits off to the open relay. I really don't understand open relays, why they have that in the first damn place. I've got to do some research on that. Okay, so if that's not plugged up, let's find out where the power comes from. Well, there's a maybe fuel control right there. So that feeds that, and there's got to be a ground there on this black lead. Well, it goes to a fuse, so it gets powered up from the fuse. Ignition fuse, a 5 amp fuse. Yep, it goes around, and it's grounded out by the fuel control. I believe that's fuel control. Okay, so, and that would close the door, and that would send voltage over here to the fuel pump. Over here to the fuel pump. Yep, to the fuel pump. Hold up, where is it? Boom. Yeah, the fuel pump resistor down here to the fuel pump. Yeah, it needs an open relay for that to work. All right, guys, let me get another relay. I think I got one in the back of my truck. All right, guys, right now I am thinking about, I'm going in the opposite direction right now because I don't want to have to do all this, and then I got to drop that tank just so I can see how did they splice in that red wire, the jump wire for your fuel pump. Did they attach it to the connector, or did they cut the wire completely and now it's no longer connected to up front of the vehicle? They spliced it together. If so, since I'm feeding voltage through that red wire, I should have voltage on that wire going back to the engine or back to the relay. So let's check voltage there, and that would tell me that, because I don't really want to drop this tank if I don't have to. But to see if we have voltage up there, and that would tell us if they're spliced together in here or not. And let's see where that goes to. real quick. Sorry, I'm really not trying to drop that tank to see, hey man, did they cut the wire, damn it, you know, and then put that thing back up there. Not trying to do that. So the fuel pump is right here. There's the fuel pump. The ground is over here on the left kick panel. All right, it gets its power from here, and it gets its power. Yeah, I should have voltage on number 4 pin on the fuel pump relay. Let's go up there. I should have voltage there all the time, whether this is controlling the relay or not. I should have voltage there. No, that's the fuel pump relay. I'm sorry, the fuel pump relay. I should have voltage. Since I'm feeding the fuel pump, let's say I'm feeding the fuel pump with that wire, and that wire is connected to the fuel pump right here, the blue and orange wire. If they got it spliced together and they didn't break the lead over here, if they didn't break anything and they just spliced into the wire, then I should have voltage right here on pin 4. And that's going to be the load side of the relay, not the computer control side. Not the control side, the computer control side. Sounds good though, didn't it? All right, so still haven't found a relay. I'm gonna go buy one. Fuel pump relay is gonna be right here. It's gonna be the second one. It's gonna be the second one. Let's do this. Let's pull the wire out of there and see if it goes away right here. Yep, and it did. It went away. See, here's my voltage right there. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my wire that's coming from the fuel pump, the red wire right here. I'm gonna pull it and watch my voltage drop. Yep, so that is power. So the wire is not broken. So the wire is not broken in the back. So, and everything comes back to the relay. I hope that makes sense, guys. So now I don't have to drop the tank, really, unless I just want to get in there and, or I can just cut the wire when I'm done. Cut this wire and tape it up or something. Cut it as close as I can to the back would be an idea. Or just cut it and put it away. And make sure it's cut right and taped or something like that in case it did find its way to the ground. Try not to make it get to the ground. That's what the point is, guys. Don't let that thing touch. If you're going to cut it, just don't put it where it's going to touch something. Why do I even have to say that? Okay. I'm just having fun, guys. So, yeah, so that is connected. Let me wrap this around my head real quick. All right, I got the pin in there and the fuel pump relay. 11 volts out of one, the load, and of course nothing's going to go to the other big pin because there's no voltage being supplied. I got a good ground on one side of the control side. I have no voltage coming out of that side. The 2 control pins. That's the fuel pump relay. Let's go to the opening relay. I got 12 volts on the opening relay on the control side. I have nothing, no ground or anything coming from the other side of the opening. So there's no ground or anything on that. I got voltage coming out of my load. Okay, and I have voltage coming out of my load. So as long as I had a ground on that opening relay, this relay would click right now if there was a ground on the opening relay. And it closes, I think it's because when the car started, it knows that because it gives it the ground. The mass airflow sensor somehow gives it a ground through that circuit, through the mass airflow circuit. The EFI is connected. Well, that voltage, that fuse powers up. No, it doesn't. That fuse comes from the, man, I'm getting all confused now. All right, the fuse it powers up from the PCM. It comes through, yeah, and it goes to the EFI, to the mass airflow sensor, and it goes to the oxygen sensors. And it goes to the oxygen sensors. Now, how does the opening relay have anything to do with the mass airflow sensor on the Tundra? Because I'm clearly missing a ground on the opening relay control side. I'm missing a ground. Let's get back to the schematic and let's take a look, see. All right, guys, what I did, I went ahead and bought a brand new relay. So I bought all relays, opening relay, EFI relay, and the fuel pump relay. And now you see the wires disconnected. It's running, but you know, it still runs like shit. It was running good. It was running good when when it was cold. Unless, I don't know, I haven't tested it yet. There's something going on. It feels like a bad fuel pump. Because the fuel pump works now. We'll shut it off. Start it back up again. The fuel pump relay did click. Not that clicking means anything, but in this case it did. Because it wasn't clicking before. So, man, I think I got a bad fuel pump now. Let me get on the scan tool and let's pull codes and see what we got. All right, guys, so right now, after the relay's put in there, new computer put in there, we got the fuse now powers up the mass airflow sensor and the oxygen sensors. We still have it. It doesn't act like it's not getting enough fuel. So I just put a fuel pressure tester on it. I got something I rigged up here, fuel pressure gauge, and it's on where the fuel filter goes, and I plugged it into here. And Austin, come and turn that key for me one more time, please. And this is what we got on this. Alright, that's good. We got just a small drip right there, but it's not, it should still pop up to at least 40 pounds. So we're going to go get another fuel filter because the old one is a little restricted. It's not real bad. I've seen a lot worse. So we're going to pop another fuel filter on there, and we're going to drop that tank, and we'll be doing a fuel pump today as well. I'm not getting anything. It's not reading any pressure. Why is that? Start it up again. Stop. Turn the key all the way off. Start it up again. Stop. Okay, hold up, man. What's going on here? Am I not getting any? Start it up again. Yep, I got fluid coming out of there. All right, that's good. Plug it back up. Pressure ain't doing shit. Do it again. I'm not getting any fluid out of here. I'm not getting any fluid coming to my... I'm not getting any fluid. I'm gonna take that Schrader valve out. All right, we got our second gauge on there. I got all the Schrader valves out of it. I've never had to take these Schrader valves out before. I was just telling them. Let's try it again. That's all we got. That's all we got. We have no leaks. All the Schrader valves are out of my tool. I'm gonna go get you another pump, another filter. All right, guys, I think I found why the fuel pump was so, the pressure was going so slow, because it's not connected. It's just on there just enough to go to put gas through the tube, but it's not clamped down. You see, just pulled it off. I didn't touch anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this hose off. I'm going to lengthen that hose and go ahead and redo it. And shit, I already got a new fuel pump, so I'm going to go ahead and pop another fuel pump on there just because I have one, and because it ain't going to take me but a second to do it. And go from there. Go ahead and unplug it. Go ahead and take it off. Just that easy. And I'll get a new pump on there, and I'll get a longer hose for that. One thing I'd like to mention is, man, this one is old. This is 100 years old right here. So, man, you guys, you get new tubes, man. Just go ahead and put some new fresh hoses on there if you're doing a fuel pump. That's just a little lazy, if you ask me. And this probably wouldn't have happened at all. We just had multiple problems on this car, on this truck. And I really wasn't trying to take out the fuel pump. It's okay. It's all right. We got a new pump right here. I'm going ahead and install it. I already got my connector. I got a new hose, which I'm going to go ahead and install now. Anyways, I'm going to get this together again. We'll do a fuel pressure test, which we really don't have to because you guys seen it was half off. So that's why that pressure was going up so slow. So, yeah. All right, next thing I gotta do, I gotta drain that tank a little bit. We got more than a half a tank of gas in there. It's way too heavy to handle by myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and, it's a very handy little pump you get right here, guys. I get it at the parts store. Pretty good flow. I can empty this tank in no time. I got another 5-gallon bucket. I'm gonna get as much of it out as I can because I don't wanna have to fight it going back in there. Anyways, next time you see it, the car will be started. We're not doing a fuel pressure test because I don't think it's necessary because of what we saw. All right, guys, we are done with the fuel pump. All I have to do is put the straps on it, but let's start it up right now because it's getting ready to get dark. Starts right up. Plenty of fuel pressure now, I'm sure. All right, guys, recap of what we did. We came out here that one night. We replaced that main fuse because they jump started it wrong and it blew the freaking fuse. Figured out that the PCM wasn't setting at 12 volts to the map sensor fuse and the EFI fuse, blah blah blah. Found out we had low fuel pressure due to a hose that was off of the fuel pump. It was cold that day, I was told, and you know, when it gets cold, you know, it's best to go in the house and warm up if you can, but they were stuck on the side of the road, so they did what they had to do. Hey, you all right? That girl just ran out here. I don't know how she ran out. She just fell and hit the concrete is what I meant to say. Hard too, so got excited because the truck is running. No, I'm just messing, but I hope she's okay. She's just sitting down, told her to take her time. Anyways, truck's running. Are you okay? Good. You fell pretty hard. Poor thing. All right, so man, we have no check engine lights on. We got a new fuel pump on there. Yeah, baby. Man. That's it. You guys are mobile again. Sweet. You're awesome, man. All right, guys, we're back at the Tundra. It's a couple days later. They said that everything is running great, but I'm still suspicious on that relay box. Something in that relay box. I really can't find any. It has to not run for me to find the problem. And right now it's been running for days and it still hasn't shut down on them. And let me go ahead and quick access it. Since I already put in the VIN number, it's asking me to put in a VIN number when I put in the when I try to scan it. See what kind of codes we got. It's been a few days. Started right up today. All right, guys. Now I left that wire on the fuel pump. It's not going to do any harm to anything, but I left it there for the simple fact when I was taking off that fuse box, I was hearing some clicking going on that probably shouldn't have been clicking. You know, I know things can click when you move a fuse box around. I understand that, but I don't know if it had anything to do with the fuel pump relay, the open relay or not. So I left it there for emergency purposes, in case the car shuts down on one day and, you know, at least he has a wire connected to the fuel pump. He can kick the fuel pump on if that is the problem that I'm getting. And I'm not for sure yet because the car runs right now. I put the open relay in there and now the fuel pump relay is clicking. It's clicking and the vehicle starts, and I'm gonna go out there. So it's running right now, and if it ever should shut down on them, I could make a point to go out there and see if we can locate this problem. I don't know where the problem is lying right now because the vehicle is running right now. So I may come out there. This is one of those jobs where I think I may have to revisit this problem. And I don't know, guys, but that's it. All right, now these are fresh codes apparently. I got a 101 again, mass airflow sensor code, and I have a mass airflow sensor circuit malfunction, fuel pump relay ECU. We'll go out there and check that fuse again. And we have an igniter. These are all fresh codes, so let me clear them out of there. A 1200 and a P0101. Okay, I said that before. There's pollen everywhere today. All right, we have the 100. It didn't go away. Let me try that again. I don't know why that won't go away, but let's go take a look, see. All right, it is plugged up. Yes, guys, I got another car probe today. One of my dogs chewed up my last one, so I couldn't fix it. I tried. They need to fix these connections. There's red on this, and this is the negative, and there's a positive over here. So that's probably why that fuse blew in the first damn place, you know what I mean? Because you got them color coded wrong. I'm gonna let them know about that. Need to change that before it happens again. So we're checking the guys, that fuse blew again. I have voltage on one side of the fuse, but I don't have voltage on that side. That's different than what we started. We didn't have voltage on either side of the fuse. So let me pop another fuse in there. That's crazy. I was not expecting that. Let me go grab a fuse. That's why that mass airflow sensor light is on again. All right, so guys, yet another problem. So, all right, now that fuse is blowing all the time right now. All right, I still have voltage. I still have supply voltage from the PCM, thank God. But new fuse. Come over here. And, yep, blew it immediately, and there it is right there. So now we have another problem, another electrical issue. You know, I'm still worried about the fuse box. I'm gonna go down. I unplugged the map sensor already. It's already unplugged because that fuse goes to the map sensor and the oxygen sensor. So I'm gonna go down there. Let's take a look at the oxygen sensor wiring harness and see if something's touching there. That's the only thing, this leg of the wire. It goes to the oxygen sensors and it goes to the map sensor. So if I don't find anything in there, I'm definitely going to have to pull this box. Alright guys, we are on something else right now, okay? I have the mass airflow sensor unplugged. All I did was check voltage on that red wire right there on the very end, red with a white stripe, and the vehicle died on me. I'm going to go from the other side. I'm starting with the green now. I'm just touching it, just getting voltages and grounds. 4.89, that's my 5-volt reference. I got a good ground. I got another ground. At least it's saying it's a ground, and this is the red wire the car died. And it died right away on the mass airflow sensor. So it looks like it's schematic time once again. This is going to be a whole different job, guys. I did my best to try to look out a little bit, and I did. But now I'm digging into something else. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to pull that fuse box. I'm going to have to pull it. And we'll find those wires, that wire coming from that fuse. We'll find that wire. Disconnect that wire and see if the voltage, if it still pops fuses after I disconnect it. Or I can disconnect all these oxygen sensors, which I could do that too, and the mass air, which is already disconnected. I could do that. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's go ahead and plug up the mass airflow sensor again. And I'll check our voltages one more time. 14 volts, 14 volts, it's not blowing at all. I'm gonna pull it out. Of course it dies. Put it back in there, no sparks. Alright, so that's good. We'll just recheck it just because, yes, and yes, we have voltage. Alright, so let's go clear codes. So we know that code is gone and the fuse ain't blowing again, and I'm gonna have to dig into that oxygen sensor wiring is what I'm probably gonna have to do. So we're going to clear codes real quick. Excuse my messy truck. Bought new tools though. You know, I got that fluke. I didn't get it doesn't have amperage, so I think I'm gonna take that back and get me one that gets some, you know, for parasitic draws and things like that. I got a new gauge set, Harbor Freight, because the dog chewed it up, my other one. And I got a digital torque wrench. I'm doing a lot of F-150 timing chains and things like that, so I got it. I always wanted a digital one. Anyways guys, back to the truck. Okay, let's see what we got. We shouldn't have anything. All right, no trouble codes. No trouble codes. Hello, it's Hayes. All right guys, we're at the end of the video. Now I just plugged in the oxygen sensor again on the driver's side. The fuse isn't blowing anymore. I might have moved some wires where it was touching metal, but the harnesses look good. So more than likely guys, you'll see this truck again. I'm gonna wait for it to blow again, and the day it blows, the check engine light will come on. He's got a little scan tool. He'll scan it and he'll call me, and we'll come back out here and we'll find another short on here. All right guys, it's Hayes Mobile Auto Repair. We're in Jackson, Mississippi, Brandon, Madison, Gluckstadt. We're all over the place. I'm out, peace. I'm out, peace. I'm banging on it because I don't want it to, if it wanted to die, I want it to die. It's like closing the hood. So I wasn't expecting this problem when I got here today. I thought I was gonna just, you know, check that open relay, the fuel pump relay, and get some preliminary voltage readings. But now after that fuse blew again, now I'm tracing another short to ground, and I believe it's gonna, I don't know where it is. I believe it's gonna be on the driver's side oxygen sensor. I couldn't unplug that one because it was too hot on the passenger side. Unplugged the mass airflow sensor, and the only thing left, I think there's the overdrive switch is also connected to that. Matter of fact, let's pull that up right now. Sorry about the glare guys. So here's the red wire. We're looking at the red wire now. That's coming from that fuse right there. All right, we're looking at the red wire. I highlighted it so we can follow it. All right, it goes to the oxygen sensors. I only see 2 oxygen sensors on this vehicle. Bank 2 sensor 1, bank 1 sensor 1, bank 2 sensor 2. So there's supposed to be 4, but I only see 2 on this vehicle. It also goes into the VSV, the EVAP, top left side of engine. And it goes to the mass airflow sensor, which is right here. So, yeah. Mass airflow sensor. The EVAP, that's that purge valve. Didn't have any codes for any purge valves. Engine heart's right side of engine firewall. Yeah, that's it, guys. It goes right up to the fuse. We got the vapor pressure sensor, the left rear of engine. Also feeds that too. An ignition fuse. That's something different. Alright. Alright guys, nevertheless, I'm done for this one right now, but you'll see this truck again, I'm sure. It just might not be today or tomorrow, but I will keep you posted on this one. See if we can find another short. Yeah, no problem. Let's do it. See you next time. It's Hayes Mobile Auto Repair. We're out. After I turn off my camera. Alright guys, what I'm doing now is we're going to start that test all over again. I got my little my headlight bulb. I'm going to put this on the computer side of the fuse, which is to that side of the fuse on the Tacoma. And we're just going to turn the key on. I'm going to give it a ground. This light should light up or it's going to freak out. Go ahead. Yeah, just turn the key on. It's fine. Start it up. There you go. Alright, so everything's good on that side of the fuse. That's the computer side of the fuse. Now we're going to check what it feeds. Mass airflow sensor, oxygen sensors. You can shut it off. Now since the fuse is blowing, we're going to go to the other side of the fuse. It says it's reading a ground. Now I'm going to supply it voltage. This has a circuit breaker in it, so if it's going to pop it, it's going to pop it. So I'm expecting it to pop. Yep, there it is. So our problem is on the other side of the fuse. It's one of the good things about a power probe. You can do little simple tests like that, and it has a circuit breaker in it, so it's not gonna, you don't have to keep blowing fuses. So we're 100% sure on that, guys. We're gonna start looking in the wiring. I'm probably gonna take the fuse box out. I don't know yet, just so I can get access to the bottom of the fuse. I'm gonna come back here when it's cooler and I can get that oxygen sensor unplugged over there. We'll be back another day. All right guys, I'm out of here. It's Hayes Mobile Auto Repair. We're in Jackson, Mississippi.